What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Blender. So in this tutorial we'll be creating the intro we just saw after starting of this video. So let's get started. By the way, I'm using Blender version 4.1, and let me just enable the screencast keys so that you can see what and all I'm pressing on the keyboard. If you're a beginner, you have to refer. This is very convenient. I don't have to say anything what I'm pressing on the keyboard, you can just refer it. So yeah, saying that, I'm just gonna delete everything on the viewport and add a plane. So we're just gonna add a plane, and we'll just go to edit mode and subdivide this multiple times so that you get a high poly. So yeah, once you're subdivided the vertices, we're just gonna go to data, and we'll just create a vertex group, and we'll press on assign. So after you've done that, we'll just go back to modifiers and add a modifier called vertex weight proximity, and set the vertex group to group, whichever group you created over here. You just wanna set it over there, and for the target group you just have to add a empty. So in this case, I'm just gonna add a plane axis. So yeah, after you added that, we're just gonna select the empty, and over here we're just gonna change the proximity factor to geometry. This is important, otherwise it won't work. And set the fall off to sharp. You can just leave it to linear, it doesn't makes a whole lot of difference. So what you're trying to do is that if you go back to weight paint, we get something like this. And you saw that in the intro it is inflating. Our Batman logo or Nike logo is inflating. So inflation happens when this is blue. Red one stays as a plane, and blue one makes it inflated. So that's what we want to achieve. And setting it to sharp makes it the edges sharp. That's it. All right, that's out of the way. We just have to create a texture to this. So we want our plane to be pop out as a Batman logo or something like that. So we're just gonna expand the influence, and we'll just click on new over here, and we'll just press this button, and we'll just go to texture tab over here, as you can see. And under here you can just select any picture you want. So I'm just gonna select the Batman logo over here. So we got our Batman logo, and yeah, as you can see, this is dark over here and light. So if you have this kind of thing, it doesn't inflate very properly over here. It will inflate very much, and it won't inflate over here. So we don't want that to happen. So to resolve that, we're just going to go to mapping, and a mapping, just gonna add crop, and we'll just kind of move like this. So place it to middle like that, and we'll go back to modifiers and increase the highest. As you can see, our picture became dark blue. That's what we want. So now, in order to inflate the image, let me just save this before I do anything. So yeah, so in order to make this inflated, we'll just go back to object mode, and we'll go to physics tab, and the physics tab is just gonna enable cloth. And this is the settings I recommend you to use, because this works the best. And yeah, the settings are the polish tips, set it to 10, and stiffness set it to 30, and check this pressure button and set it to 10. If we'll just edit this pressure after we see the simulation, because sometimes you need less pressure and sometimes you need more pressure. Pressure is variable, it depends on your computer and your setup. Yeah, so yeah, after that, we're just going to expand the shape, and we're gonna group the group. What is group? This group you have created, we're just going to pin that group, and we'll set the shrinking factor to -0.3, and then the collision, we're just going to increase the collision steps to 5, and self collision to you're just going to leave the self collision as it is. And the field base, we're just going to turn off the gravity. And if you want to bake this entire simulation, what you can do is that you can just expand the cache and set the end frame. So in my case, I'm just going to set it to 20, and I'm just going to press bake. and as you can see we got our Batman logo. As you can, and also as you can see our pressure is too much, that's why it's over inflating over here. So depending on this you can just edit the pressure. So in my case I'm just going to keep it to 7, maybe 7. 5 is enough. I'll set it to 7. Let's see how it will work. So this looks all right. Now we'll just add a couple of modifiers to make it smooth. So yeah, I'll just add a subdivision surface to make it smooth. And yeah, and this is not the end of the tutorial. We have a little problem in this tutorial, and that is, as you can see in the intro, when a Batman logo inflates, it kind of becomes like a waterish kind of effect. So what we have done is just a basic. We have not touched the textures, so we'll just touch the textures now. So I'm just going to cycles and add a camera, and I'm just want to share a cool tip in this tutorial. If you want to align your camera to the viewport, what you can do is that you can just go back to view, and under align view you can just align the active camera to view, so that it becomes aligned to your viewport. And also if you want to move your camera like in the games using WASD keys, you can go to navigation, and under navigation you can just click on walk navigation, and you can move your camera like in the games. And right ahead I'm just going to add a uh, area light, and I'm just going to move like that, so that we have our basic lightings. And now as you can see, if you set our planes texture to black, our Batman logo is gonna be black, so we don't want that to happen. So to avoid that, what we can do is that we can just add a geometry node, a single node. That node is called let me just create a new over here. Make sure you select the plane and press on new, so that you get these two tabs, and we'll add a capture attribute node. We're just going to drop that into and connect these two. And if we go back to geometry nodes, we have our geometry nodes modifier, and we're just going to move this above the cloth simulation, and under value we're just going to say select this button, and under value we're just going to select the group. What is the group? Vertex group you just created. And under attribute, which what you have to do is that we have to go back to weight paint, and we have to type weight, WIGST weight, and we'll just go back to object mode, and we'll open shader editor, and this is a basic shader, and we'll just add another shader called let's say we'll add a emission. This is just for a show you guys how this works really. And add a color ramp. I'm just going to keep it over here, and a mix shader, and I'm just going to pop that in this also, and add a attribute, and we'll just connect the color to factor of the attribute, and we're just going to select the factor over here, and over here in the name you have to type weight. That's what creates thing. Right now we can see our our plane is white, and our Batman logo is black. So if to invert it, you can just go to this tab and just press flip color ramp, and this happens. And also if you want a glass texture, it works with any texture you want. All you have to do is that you have to plug in over here. And also if you let's say you download textures from the internet, and there are a bunch of nodes, what you can do is that you can just select all those nodes and press Command G, so that it creates another window for this. And from the outside it will look like this. So this is very very convenient if you have a texture code, and if you have downloaded textures from the internet and you want to plug into this simulation and worked out. And yeah, that's it for the tutorial. And if you want this to look very very professional, you can just make the plane high poly by subdividing more, which gonna consume more time to bake and simulate. And also you can just keyframe it. Yeah, I forgot to tell you this, but you can keyframe this. So if you go back to weight paint, as I said in the beginning of the tutorial, this blue color, wherever this blue is going to be inflated. So if you just set the highest to low, 0, it's just going to be red. So at frame 0 there won't be a Batman logo, and at frame, let's say at frame 100 want the Batman logo, so we'll just set it to yeah, 4. And as you play, our Batman logo will slowly appear, like just like in the intro. And that's what we want to achieve. And yeah, that's it for the tutorial. There's nothing there to really talk about the tutorial. That's it. It's a very simple tutorial, any beginner can follow it. And if you like this tutorial, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you loved it, please give it a sub. It will really help me a lot and appreciate me to go on making this tutorial like this. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.